Fi there, mechanical keyboard nerds. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the NuPhy NOS75, the new custom mechanical keyboard kit, the low profile keyboard kit with all its glorious accessories and options, and I'm a big fanboy of NuPhy keyboards. So in this video, we're going to unbox it, review it, sound test it, not necessarily in that order. You do not want to miss this. Unboxing first. So this literally came in a massive package filled with 4 boxes. Let's start with the actual keyboard kit, and I will tell you a little bit about what I have learned from this, well, honestly just their website. I'm just checking it out. You can go read everything I'm about to say, but I'll say this. First and foremost, they sent me this for free. They did not say what I have to say. All opinions are my own. They are not paying me to make this video, but you know, they sent this to me to review. So there you go. Now you know. I have 3 other NuPhy keyboards, 2 other NuPhy keyboards. I don't remember at this point. And I really, really like them. I think they are, in my opinion, probably the best pre-built keyboards you can buy for the price range, which is, I would say, like, you know, medium price range. Not super budget, but they're not hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's kind of medium. In fact, my daily driver right now is the NuPhy Halo 65. So here's what we got here. First of all, their packaging is always pretty nice, I will say. I don't know what is happening right now. Instruction manual in here, which I'm assuming we probably will need. One of the biggest, well, it's the low profile keyboard. Okay, there's 2 big draws for this though. From what I read, something different. What's different about this low profile keyboard? Why is it gonna be awesome? Ooh, this is like, what's the cloth, the type of cloth, the like white glasses and stuff like that? That's what this is. Like a nice microfiber or something, I don't know. I'm sorry, I got distracted. The switches and the mounting options. The switches that came with this, oh my gosh, it's super heavy and nice. The switches that came with this, will open really quick, are, I think they call them N1 nano switches. They're low profile, but they're supposed to feel not low profile. It's supposed to have a travel distance. I think it's like 3.5 millimeter or something like that. I have to go look at their website. But that's the same travel distance as a lot of speed switches, right? A lot of switches are like 4 millimeter, but some are, you know, lower. These apparently have a total travel of 3.4 millimeter. I don't know if they sent me lubed or unlubed. I'm hoping lubed because I'm not going to lube them myself, but alas. Twist. Boop. Oh, so cool. These are linear switches, N1 Nano. I'm excited to see how these feel because I got to tell you, I have not found a low profile keyboard. They're all fun. Low profile certainly has its advantages for travel or whatnot. And if you have like wrist pain, especially, you don't want a high keyboard. But they haven't felt mechanical enough for me. They feel mechanical-ish, but not mechanical enough. So I'm really hoping that these N1 Nano switches and the way they've kind of optimized this keyboard and the PCB, by the way, apparently you can mount these just about anywhere. Looks like a 5-pin mount. If you could clip the 2 other plastic ones, make it a 3-pin mount probably. Was really interesting. They're trying to solve some compatibility issues there, and they're trying to make it actually feel more mechanical, like a mechanical keyboard, but low profile, obviously. They are low profile switches. So I will put this away for just a minute, and let's just talk about the frame. Oh, it's beautiful. It's heavy. It is so sleek. Aluminum. Most of the other NuPhy keyboards I have are all plastic, I believe. I can't remember the Air 75 that I tried out, but this one has a really heavy-duty, beautiful aluminum case. This is also different. The feet, there is no feet. There is, they call it gas feet or something. Basically, there's air in here. It's not a solid piece of silicone, I believe. I think that's what I read. And it goes all the way around, obviously. That's the feet. That's the part that touches your desk. Doesn't move around that I can see. I know you can't see this really well right now, but that looks really cool. It looks really cool. They also sell, I'm not sure, I'll check my accessories box in a second, a metal plate that you can put here for additional weight, although you do not need it. Sorry. If they're trying to upsell you on that, I just ruined it. But it's super heavy and premium feeling. It looks amazing. You know what my favorite part about this so far? This is not my review, I'll do my review later, but my favorite part so far is that there are no sharp edges. There are so many keyboards with aluminum frames that have sharp edges. Plastic sharp edges, okay, I can deal with that. Aluminum sharp edges, you could kill small animals with those things. Anyways, this looks absolutely beautiful. I like that it's put together this much. I'm gonna be really honest with you, because I wouldn't want to do it. I like keyboard kits-ish, where you have to put together the plate and the frame and put in the foam dampening and all that stuff. You can do that with this keyboard. In fact, we're going to talk about the mounting options in a minute, but I like that it ships out of the box like this. Toss in the switches, and you buy your keycaps separately, of course, and you're good to go. I like that it comes like that. Now that said, obviously, you got the screws, there's 4 screws on the back right here that you are going to be taking off, which I will try to do for this video, just to show you some mounting options, and we can do our customization there. That is a massive thing. This is like my new official screen cleaner. Thank you, NuPhy. What else we got? Tool box. Also really handy, especially for, you know, beginners who may not have, beginners who may not have a bunch of different tools. This is the USB cable. Let's see what that looks like. This is not wireless, wired only, so I'm hoping they spent a little bit of money here. It's a cool cable, right? Coiled cable, it's not corded, or what's it called? Wound? I don't remember. This is braided, maybe. Okay, there's a ton of things in here. So first of all, screwdriver. That looks like a really nice aluminum or titanium thing right there. Some sort of metal. That's better than the one I have. What else we got in the tool thing here? This is gonna be your keycap puller and switch puller. We got a billion of those. Okay, that's cool. So otherwise, in this kit, let's talk about the mounting options for a second. You're gonna wanna go and look on their website if you decide to buy this keyboard, just to kind of get a feel for what they have. There's like 7 or 8 different mounting options, sort of. There's like case mounted, like you can mount it, you can lay it in the bottom of the case, screw it in. You can screw it into the top part, or you can mount it on a gasket. A gasket meaning some soft thing that mounts it in place, holds it in place somehow. And even between that, there are different options. So here's top, bottom mount screws. You don't need to see that right now. But they have silicone socks, silicone beans. Socks, I believe, are, there's 4 of them in here. I guess that's, I don't know how many are supposed to go around. Basically, little things that hold your PCB and plate or whatnot in place. And then they have a bean option, which is a different way of mounting it. And they also have a silicone strip, which is much bigger, much more of a gasket feel and sound, probably. I don't know. So I think you're gonna wanna go on YouTube here and find people who have done this specific sound or this specific sound or this specific sound, and just see what those sound like and go from there. You're welcome to experiment yourself, but you know, it takes a little bit of time. And if you have that, by all means, go for it and find the sound and feel that works best for you. But if not, just use YouTube. I am gonna go ahead and open this one up. Accessories box, which is extremely light. I'm guessing this is gonna be more sound dampening options. I would rather be way overpackaged than not enough packaged. Okay, plate. So you can take off the existing one that's already on there, which is a metal, actually not precisely sure what that is, aluminum maybe? I don't know, we'll have to look at it. Or use this one, which is probably some sort of silicone. I don't actually know for sure. Or plastic, it actually feels more plastic, or palm. Not precisely sure, but it would definitely yield a different feel and sound, I'm guessing. This is like really, really stiff on here right now, which you might prefer, or you might want to try this. Either one. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I read that you do not have to remove switches and keycaps to change around the mounting style, which is amazing. Maybe it's like that with all keyboards. I mean, it depends on how you take the frame apart. I'm guessing, I don't know. This one, apparently we can try different stuff out. So I'm gonna put switches and keycaps on here, and we're gonna try out this, which is default. Pre-installed by default, it is the silicone sockets. Gasket mounted, of course. It says for extra bounces, so we'll see. After that, maybe I will take it apart and do one of these other ones. And I also learned that the silicone beans come in 2 hardness options, which is crazy to me, which is insane. The amount of options you have with this keyboard. It's really cool. Yo, check it out. It came with a fridge magnet. It's a keyboard fridge magnet. Okay, so let's customize this mounting style. I have my instruction manual open. It's super important. They have two instruction manuals, actually, one of which details the install guide. Now, I recommend always having a bowl or somewhere to put screws. I'm just gonna put mine right in there. Comes with a screwdriver. It turns out this spinny part of the top is so you can just kind of hold this steady and like spin to unscrew, such as this. Let's come down here. Stick that in there, and then you can just kind of hold this to steady it. Easy enough. So I'm going to turn it back over, and this should just come right off the top plate. Set that to the side, obviously. And you can see where this is, you can actually lift this up out of the bottom. We're actually going to pull this up very gently here. Grab it, not by the keycaps. Now, you can unplug it right there. If you can see that, you can just plug that out. I'm actually not gonna do that. I'm instead just gonna lay it right here and prop it up so it doesn't fall over, obviously, just like that. And hopefully this will be okay. And if it falls over, then hopefully that looks like a nice sturdy thing. Doesn't matter. Now, actually, part of the reason I'm not gonna do it, let's just actually lay this down in there. You got all my foam padding that I have already messed up. Okay, note that there are 4 connection places, 4 on this side and then 4 on the other side. Obviously, I just took off some gaskets a second ago on these. You can see they're still on here. I'm going to actually screw this into the bottom frame of the keyboard. I'm going to do a bottom mount. But obviously, this would be where you can put the various gaskets on here. They have the ones that go in the middle, 2 different weights, and the ones, I can't remember what they're called for some reason, that slip over the entire thing, the bars, if you will. Now, I took those. Let me take them off the other side. Okay. So I'm going to open up my top and bottom mounted things. I'm actually just going to pour them all in the other side of this just to kind of keep them there. And so obviously if you're mounting on the bottom, there will be these little silicone, what are they called? Bumpers? I'm not really sure. Teeny tiny that are they're going to go between the frame that you mounted in and the, what is that? The plate right here. So on the bottom, I'm going to put it underneath. It's going to be between the bottom and the thing here. Plate, sorry. The gasket would be on top if you're mounting it to the top of the keyboard. In which case, by the way, you need to flip this over and then grab the top of the keyboard here and then screw it in that way. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put this on the bottom if I can. Like this. I'm doing the first one really awkwardly so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. It's actually pretty awkward because I have to do all of these. I wonder if I can actually just like slide these little gasket things in here like so. It's actually not too bad. Just kind of slide it in there on top of the hole just like that. I just pinched it in there. I'm gonna do the same thing down here, and then actually I could probably do all 8. Just slide it in here underneath. I know you can't see very well in this video. Slide it in there. There's that one. I'll take the screw out for now. Okay, I can already tell this is going to be a much firmer sound. I got my gaskets in here. I'm going to wait on the screws and take this very carefully and put in the other side the gaskets. And these I'm not going to be able to just push in there. I'm going to have to lift up the thing. There's probably a more efficient way to do this, but I don't know what it is. So we're just going to Kind of set them in here. Can I do that? Okay, I suggest some tweezers, or you can use the screwdriver to put those in there because it is a pain. It is a pain. I'm going to gently, gingerly press this down. I can see that my holes are aligning for my screws, just barely. Let's see what happened to the other side here. Oh man, we were so close. We're pretty good. I can actually just scoot these into place a little bit better. I think I'm ready to screw these bad boys in. And I think I actually need a, different screwdriver, which they do provide you with. Right there. Took me a while with my big fat fingers, but I have all 8 in there. Let me tighten this down. So this is attached. Already feels a little bit more poppy, I feel like. Very firm. So let's put the front or top casing back on. Slide that on there. Flip this guy over just like that. And we will use the big screwdriver. This one I will do the 4 corners. You will have to press down quite a bit just to make sure this attaches to the top of the frame here. I think we're good. All right, let's do a sound test with the bottom mount. All right, time to sum things up with Pete's review. 30 seconds, bottom line first. Very easy to recommend this keyboard. It's really, 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 really well done. Fun to customize and use. Looks great, sounds great, feels great. It's an easy win. I do have one more negative thing to say. I'm gonna save it to the end of this video. Let's go through sound, feel, build quality, and then the extras. Extras is where this keyboard just blows everybody else out of the water. NuPhy, you're doing a great job. Sound. It sounds fine. But I couldn't tell a massive difference between the mounting styles. Well, I will say the first one I had, which was, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the most bouncy is what they call it. It's the most creamy, the most Cricut-like. It's a little bit softer to type on. That, to me, was different than the bottom mount. But all the ones in between, the different gasket mounted styles, I personally haven't been able to tell that much a difference. And I tried them. I tried the 2 weights of the silicone beans or whatnot, and couldn't tell much of a difference at all. But it still sounds nice. It sounds, well, if you like the sound a second ago in the sound test, you'll dig it. Sounds just like that. There you go. Feel. It feels great, first of all. I will say, well, I'm gonna say my negative thing to the end. I'll say my negative thing to the end. It feels great. Keycaps are phenomenal, well done. They look amazing, by the way, but they feel great as well. The switches are really good. They sent me the pre-lubed versions of the Nanos, and I've been really impressed. They don't feel like most low-profile switches. They say they don't, and I agree with them. They don't. They actually feel kind of normal in a good way. These are linears, no tactile bump, and I just really enjoyed it. They feel great to type on. Spacebar feels really solid and smooth all the way around. It feels good. Sounds great, feels great. Now, the extra stuff, and then I'll do my negative spiel. The build quality and the ability to customize this keyboard was just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, even. It was done flawlessly. The build quality, aluminum frame, super heavy. I don't have the extra weight. I hate to say this, but I don't think you need it. It's just super heavy. Build quality is fantastic. The one thing I will say is that when you do customize this keyboard, the dampening materials are going to slide around on you if you're not careful. And then you kind of like have to scoot them back into place as you're like holding up the other layers, and just be careful from the get-go when you take this thing apart, and you won't have to worry about it as much. But if you're like haphazard here and those things separate from one another, it's kind of a pain to like realign and then make sure your gasket things are where they need to be. It's nothing against NuPhy, but just so you know, build quality is absolutely flawless. The feet thing is really good. I do not like the sticky, stick-on dot feet that a lot of keyboard kits come with. Can't stand those. Can't stand them. They come off all the time. I like feet that are integrated into the actual frame. And this is really well done. I don't know if I see a massive difference between just having the feet like this one right here. Yeah, this one just has 4, but they're still integrated. They're attached somehow, more than just stickiness, it appears. Or maybe not, I don't know, maybe it's just sticky really well. Doesn't matter. This works really well. This works really well too. Can't tell much of a difference with the entire ring, but that's because they did it well in their other keyboards anyways. So, the ability to customize the gaskets. Last thing. It's just so much fun. It's simple. It's easy. They even stick you with this nice screwdriver, which, by the way, comes with a couple of tips. You just switch it out right here, and you can put it back in. I found myself like trying to do the other one like this. I was just silly of me. Just stick it in there. Boom. Screwdriver. The different mounting styles. Other keyboards do this too. Other keyboards have like, oh, you can switch out how it's mounted. This is the easiest and simplest that I've done. It even comes with its own directions. Its own manual for the mounting styles or whatnot. Really well done. Super easy to recommend this keyboard based on that alone. So much fun. So easy. So here's my one negative thing. Maybe negative, may not be negative. I don't know. It's not actually that low profile. It's shouted as low profile. It does have low profile keycaps for the most part. Not as low as some other ones, but pretty low. It does have low profile switches. Not as low as some other ones, but pretty low. But the keyboard itself is not, it's not that low profile. I'm gonna hold up this big fat one right next to it. You can see this. Like it's not, it's not that different. It's a little different. It's not that different. Maybe down here towards the like space bar, the bottom end. But even then, look, like it's still a good, like from the frame up, like this isn't so thick, but including the bottom and the feet and stuff, it's not low profile. It's not. Is it a little bit more low profile than the other ones? A teeny tiny bit, but it's not as much as the NOS75 from NuPhy, and it's not as much as the, well, I have 2 other low profile keyboards that are actual low profile, and this one isn't. I would not stick this like on top of my MacBook laptop. I would not travel with this one because it's ridiculous. It's not gonna break. It's not plastic, it's aluminum, it's not gonna break, but it's just heavy, right? It's not a good travel keyboard. You probably didn't want it as that to begin with. If you do, don't get this one, right? It's a 75% layout as well, so it's a little bit taller. It's not gonna be a travel keyboard. It's not that low profile. But, you know, you may not notice it at all. Or if you have a really tall keyboard with tall keycaps, you will notice it. It'll be low profile compared to that, but compared to other low profile branded keyboards, it's not. So, big shout out to NuPhy for sending me another keyboard to review. I'm a huge fan of theirs. This gets an easy recommendation for the customizations, for all the accessories they give you. This is a premium keyboard, and it's super fun to type on and mess around with. And those keycaps are flawless. Some of my favorite keycaps I own, period. I'm a huge fan. So, I recommend the NOS75. Let me know if you have this keyboard in the comments. Tell me what you think. Or if you have any other thoughts, opinions, questions, I'll be happy to weigh in the comments. Adios.